Hello, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Sorry for starting early again, but Nick kind of cut out faster than I expected him to. um, Welcome to the 1244th day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation. Before we kick things off, let me just hit refresh here, make sure we're up to date. Starting the stream with 2,626 euros in 64 donations. Still trying to push towards that 11,000 goal. I got my mustard on hand just in case we do hit the next 1,000 mark. Overall, the campaign has reached 214,740 euros. Let's go check in on everybody there. History of everything still in the #1 spot. Ukraine Matters, Emu Squad, Anna Marchi History, Succumimus, ATP Geopolitics, Chungus, and myself, Lord Hardthrasher, Silicon Curtain, Tanya Fiona, The Shills, Baba Yaga Fella, Falcon Fighters, Tails, Sprocket Bicycle, Rudy Acosta Jr., Phil Ipner with On the Edge, and the global, I shouldn't say and yet, the Global Gambit and Terrell Star, all working to make this fundraiser happen. So the link for the fundraiser is pinned to the top of chat. If you have the funds and are able to, please donate. 5 euros, 10 euros, doesn't matter. It all adds up. And your support is so much appreciated, not only by the 5th Border Guards, but Cars for Ukraine, Ivan and Claire, but myself too. That's why I'm here, to help spread the word and help increase support for Ukraine. If you are able to donate 100 euros or more, you are entitled to either the Fortress pin or one of the blue or red Summer Sunshine truck campaign. Of course, if you're able to and do 300 euros, you can pick all 3 patches. You also get your name on the truck for higher donations and so on and so forth. So, just a fun way of getting recognized for contributions. With that, let's hop over to the air raid map. Donetsk, with explosions reported in Kramatorsk 24 minutes ago. Sumy under air alert for 1 hour 35 minutes. There's been various air alerts throughout the day, even over in the western half of Ukraine. And moving into the operational information as of 8 a.m. July 21st regarding the Russian invasion. But before we get into that, let's say hello to everybody in chat. Adam Rounds, Dutterpat, David N., Not Sherlock Holmes, KKGG, and Pozami. I know I'm not saying that right. I know you told me before, but my mind is not with it anymore. I don't know why. So you have to correct me again if I'm saying your name wrong. Anyways, as always, the report starts with glory to Ukraine. The 1,244th day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. It is important to note that Russia started this war. Russia could end this war by going home. That would, it's Russia's war. It's not Ukraine's war. It's Russia's war. In total, 154 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. According to updated information, yesterday the invaders launched 2 missile strikes using 5 missiles and 70 airstrikes on the territory of Ukraine, dropping 111 guided air bombs. In addition, Russia engaged 3,316 kamikaze drones to destroy them, to destroy Ukrainians, and they also carried out 5,978 artillery strikes on the positions of our troops and settlements. 54 of those artillery strikes were from MLRSs. The aggressor carried out airstrikes on the areas of the settlements of Pavlini, Primorsky, Orkhiv in Zaporizhia, Oradro-Kamianka in Kherson, and that is all. So 111 bombs on 4 settlements? Yeah. Over the past day, aviation, missile troops, and artillery units of the defense forces of Ukraine struck 3 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment, 5 artillery pieces, and 1 UAV control point of the enemy. Oh, Sumi's air alert dropping off. That's always a good sign. Moving into the individual directions and the deep state map. Zooming into the North Slobodansk Sumy area. 23 clashes took place over the past day. The enemies launched 9 airstrikes, dropping 12 guided bombs, and carried out an additional 356 artillery strikes, 1 from a multiple launch rocket system. Moving over to the South Slobodansk and Kharkiv areas. The enemy stormed the positions of our units 7 times in the settlements of Voschansk, Krasny Pershi is not that one. It's over here. There. Kudkivka. Right here. Stroivka. And jumping back over towards Voschansk, Staritsi. Krasny Pershi and Kozacha Lopan, I always get mixed up in my head. I'm not sure why. Other than they start with K. Heading to the south to Kupiansk direction, 4 attacks by the invaders took place over the last day. The defense forces repelled enemy assault actions near Kindrashivka, right up here. Zeleny Gay, which is down here, and in the direction of Kupiansk itself. Heading down to Liman area, basically covering this section. The enemy attacked 20 times, trying to advance in the areas of Karpivka, Kolodazny, Novi Mir, up there, Ridkobub, Shandrigolove, Torsky down here, and in the direction of Sierra Brianca, typically in this forest area right here. Jumping down to Servisk. The enemy in the Vermika, Verkno-Kamiansky, and okay, where is Fedorivka? Right there, Fedorivka, and Yirigorivka. I know I'm not saying that right. I'm getting better with it, but anyways, the enemy attacked the position of our troops 6 times in those settlements. Jumping over to the west to Kramatorsk, Slovansk, Druhiska, Konstantinivka. This line of settlements, or cities, I should say. 2 clashes were recorded in the areas of Pretechny and Bilogora. Heading directly to the south to Toretsk. The enemy carried out 9 attacks in the areas of Divlivka, Sechirabenivka, jumping over Rusin Yar over here, Toretsk itself, and in the direction of Katrinivka. Zooming out and heading over to Pokrovsk. Our defenders stopped 46 assault and offensive actions of the aggressor in the areas of the settlements of Poltavka, Udashny, Novoekonomishne, Lisivka, Zirozova, Volodornivka up here, Novotoretsky right there, Dashny, which is down here, Novopavlivka right there, Gorogovo, Oleksivka, and in the direction of Pokrovsk, Mirnograd, Filia. I'm not sure I know where that settlement is. Over here north of Yalta in Zaporizhia, next to Novopavlivka. Okay. I'll try to remember that one in the future. But moving over to the Novopavlivka direction. The enemy attacked our positions 17 times in the areas of the settlements of Yalta, Mirny, covered by the arrow Tolstoy, Voskreshenka, Malivka, coming to the south, Zeleny Pol, Tremivka, jumping back to the north, Pridubny, and last but not least, Novopil. Russia is hitting hard, trying to reach the border of Donetsk right here. Coming over to the Guliapol direction. The enemy carried out one unsuccessful assault action in the direction of Malanivka. Jumping over to Orhiv, We have good news that no enemy offensive actions were conducted in the Orhiv direction, and only one clash occurred in the Perniprovsky direction. Perniprovsky right here, and Kherson next door. Doesn't say where. It was probably just a river assault, but Russians are pushing, trying to capture the Antonovsky, and the bridge right here. Tongue-tied over that. Some easy name. In the Volyn and Polizia directions, no signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups have been detected. Our soldiers continue to inflict significant losses in manpower and equipment on the occupation forces and are actively undermining the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. Goes into the losses for today. We'll cover that part with the graphic, but of note, another heavy flamethrower system of the invaders was also taken out. That's not tracked on the graphics. And we end the report with join the defense forces, Razom Peremojemo, and of course, Slava Ukraina. Heading back over to the air alert map and the losses for today for Russia, July 21st, 1244th day. Russia lost an additional 1,170 personnel, bringing the total to 1,043,160 personnel that Russia has lost since the full-scale invasion started. 2 tanks, 7 armored personnel vehicles, 54 artillery systems, 1 MLRS, 1 anti-aircraft warfare system, just one more to go to reach 1,200, 199 UAVs, 132 vehicles, 2 special equipment, and, of course, the heavy flamethrower of the Russians. That is the Russian losses for today. Not yet, not yet. Welcome to the stream, Steve. Indie Darkstar, Pyro Kurt jumping in. Good day, good day. Yeah, it's not so great of weather here either. We're supposed to get thunderstorms and have been having electrical issues throughout the day. I'll trade you anytime, Steve. You know, we hit a nice 35 Celsius today with about 95% humidity. It's like walking in pea soup. Yeah, I don't think the devil even wants them there, Steve. Heading over to Telegram. And, oh, there's some new posts by Zelensky. Let's see what those are. So talking about NATO providing additional funding for the Ukrainian army. Everyone understands that our soldiers began to defend and continue to defend our country, to defend their country, not for money, but we know and feel that we need financial motivation additional for the Ukrainian army. We need to focus on 2 issues: money for drones and money for personnel. So that will be a nice boost to the guys on the front. Most of them are spending what little they do get paid on equipment or drones or vehicles. So, yeah, a boost to their pay means better equipment for them and all around a nice city. I am not going to translate for or I'm not going to read over Zelensky today. He did a long address, over 6 minutes. My voice won't handle that much. So here is Zelensky and his address for today. Hey there, Anton.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці. Українки сьогодні провів засідання.
Pause. Let me slow this back down. Crank the volume a little bit and restart.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Сьогодні провів засідання РНБО, перше в оновленому форматі РНБО після змін в уряді. І саме про те, що ми обговорювали з урядовцями, запроваджуємо мораторій, заборону на перевірки бізнесів та взагалі будь-яке втручання правоохоронних органів, контролюючих різних державних структур в діяльність бізнесу. Звісно, окрім дуже ризикових тіньових галузей, таких як сфера підакцизних товарів, алкогольних, тютюнових, щоб там не було нових сірих схем. Є також вже чіткий перелік законодавчих змін, конкретних заходів на рівні уряду, щоб протягом дії мораторію реально змінити позитивно умови для бізнесу в нашій країні. Та щоб поставити під реальний контроль діяльність кожного елементу державних структур. Генеральний прокурор України Руслан Кравченко запропонував абсолютно прозору і абсолютно зрозумілу систему, як забезпечити справжню чистоту в роботі правоохоронців по економічних справах та як прибрати можливості для корупційних проявів. Розраховую, що відповідні зміни до Кримінального процесуального кодексу, до інших законів будуть ухвалені максимально оперативно. Прем'єр-міністр України Юлія Свириденко та наші урядовці мають гарантувати виконання також програм підтримки українського виробництва, українських робочих місць, інвестицій в нашу державу. Це все дає нам змогу забезпечувати армію та стійкість нашої країни. Пам'ятаємо, що саме український бізнес, саме українські підприємства забезпечують нормальне життя для наших людей і можливість працювати за будь-яких умов. Бізнес потребує передбачуваності, і це буде. Я вдячний всім, хто підтримує. Сьогодні ж дуже детально говорили з урядом, з військовими про закупівлі дронів. Всіх типів дронів, включно із дронами-перехоплювачами. Окрім цього, діпстрайки та дрони для фронту. Я доручив максимально розширити контрактування. Беремо все, що здатне захищати наші міста від шахедів та позиції на фронті. Це також одне із завдань для українських дипломатів. Сьогодні я взяв участь у нараді з послами нашої країни. Маємо суттєвий дефіцит фінансів на виробництво зброї в Україні. І українські дипломати разом з усіма урядовцями, разом з Офісом президента мають забезпечити домовленості з партнерами щодо фінансів. Я вже говорив про це з деякими лідерами. Є готовність наших друзів, готовність європейців допомагати. Маємо кожну домовленість виконати на 100% і швидко. Готуємо також значну активізацію роботи по санкціях проти Росії за цю війну. Це і нові санкції наші та партнерів, а також синхронізація санкцій. Росія використовує кожну санкційну діру для того, щоб фінансувати війну. Відповідно, маємо максимально синхронізувати всі санкції партнерів у нас в українській юрисдикції, і українські санкції в юрисдикціях наших партнерів. А також санкційні режими партнерів мають бути синхронізовані між ними. Робота значна, але санкції довели свою ефективність. Ми бачимо по мінусам в російській економіці, по проблемах з їхніми бюджетами у виробництвах, що санкції реально працюють. Цього має бути більше, щоб висушити російський економічний потенціал. Ще одне. Сьогодні увесь день триває ліквідація наслідків російського удару по наших містах, наших українських громадах. Різні регіони від Харківщини та Сумщини до Франківська. Сильна атака була проти Києва. Значну частину шахедів і ракет вдалося збити. І кожна така хвиля російських ударів нагадує про дві речі. ППО потрібно більше систем, більше покриття нашої країни захистом. Також наші далекобійні удари по Росії, якщо Путін так здурів на темі шахедів і терору, вони мають залишитись без логістики. Кожен, хто працює заради захисту життя і обмеження потенціалу Росії у війні, кожен працює на досягнення миру. Дякую також всім партнерам, які просувають нові та більш сильні санкції, в тому числі вторинні санкції. Хай російська бравада не вводить в оману, вони дійсно відчувають вплив санкцій. І вони повинні припинити агресію. Росія повинна закінчити цю війну, яку сама ж і почала. Нікому більш, крім Росії, ця війна не потрібна. Обов'язково буде мир. Я дякую всім, хто з України. Я дякую нашим воїнам. І ще одне. Сьогодні я обговорив з Рустемом Умєровим підготовку обміну та ще однієї зустрічі в Туреччині з російською стороною. Умєров доповів, що зустріч планується на середу. Завтра буде більше деталей. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. So much he was going through there. Of course, talking about the massive attack last night. We'll cover more of that later with the video section. Talking about funding for military and weapons production in Ukraine. I started the Give Again thing because, I named my project Give Again Ukraine for a simple reason. You hire somebody in Ukraine, and that money circulates and goes around and again and helps the economy. Well, it's the same thing with the weapons production. Weapons produced in Ukraine are produced by Ukrainians working in Ukraine who pay taxes and so on and so forth, and that money just circulates and helps the economy. Ukraine's economy is not in the greatest shape. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Give you a bit of an idea. even though the US dollar is hurting. Uh, over the last year, we're pretty stable for what it was 1 month ago, a year ago. But you look at 5 years, and back in 2020, the exchange rate was about 28. Um, hovered around 28. Right before the war, Ukraine was booming, and the exchange rate was down to 26. The war hit in 2022, and it jumped back up to 28, 29, and then July 23rd. I'll have to look up to see what happened on July 23rd of 2022. A huge jump up in the exchange rate, 36. When that huge jump up happened, Ukraine put a cap on the amount that could change in a day, and it stayed around 36 for quite a few years. Well, I shouldn't say years, but quite a long time, until October of 2023. Ukraine removed the cap on the exchange, and it has been steadily climbing ever since. We're not at the highest exchange rate yet, but we're hovering right around 42 hryvnia per dollar right now. That's a wide gap from pre-war, pre-invasion to now. That's affected Ukrainians' buying power, civilian buying power. What was a couple hundred US dollars, $100 US a year ago was 250 hryvnia, or 2,500 hryvnia. Now $100 is 4,200 hryvnia. It's cut their buying power in half. And of course, that means having to save up longer to make the same purchases from foreign goods. One thing that has been interesting in Kyiv is the changing of locations of restaurants. The majority of the restaurants were nestled downtown before the war, catering to the tourists and such. Checking out the cathedrals, Maiden Square, so on and so forth. The restaurants that are thriving right now are not in central Kyiv. They're in the residential districts. And like the local place to go eat is booming right now. Even still. So a lot of the nice restaurants are farther afield, and I can confirm this personally. Like one of my favorite restaurants is out here in portfolio. Um, Again, it was nice and close, walking distance, really high end food, really good quality. And the only, but like go down to art towards Arsenalna and Poltavka restaurant, or I forgot the name of the seafood place. But like all the noted restaurants were downtown, and now that's starting to switch. Um, of course, every time there's an air raid, sales drop at stores and restaurants because people go to the shelters, and nobody wants to repair in case their place gets hit. So there's a lot of sectors of the Ukrainian economy that's hurting. Yeah, there's a reason. Um, you're talking about this metro station getting hit last night. Um, one of my friends was actually there and got hit by glass. Got glass fragments all up and down his arm. Um, so yeah, it's sad. It's frustrating. Um, but yeah, I mean, what is the point of Russia attacking a metro? Why hit the metro station? Oh darn, the McDonald's Western society creeping into blah blah. What's the justification? There isn't a military justification. It's a terrorist justification. And he was talking about how Russia's economy is hurting. Oh yeah. The minimum interest on a loan for a house, like a mortgage in Russia right now, is 28%. So there's nobody going to pay 28% for a mortgage. That's just ridiculous. That's like putting a house on your credit card. I mean, so like the housing market in Russia is non-existent except for those paying cash. And when you're making $500-600 a month, a place that costs 20,000, you're gonna have to save up 20,000 for, or it's going to cost you 150,000 over 20 years. The other business that's doing really well in Russia right now is basically payday loans. Businesses are not paying their employees in Russia for like 3 months. They don't get paid. So the normal everyday workers are having to take payday loans to pay for groceries, rent, electricity, gas, whatever bills. And they're getting charged interest on that. Well, the businesses are collecting interest on their money that they should have paid out to their employees for 3 months. That's That's the economy situation in Russia right now. Today's puzzle, hi Mexi girl. I don't get it. And you misspelled Mexi. Dyslexia does have its advantages sometimes. Yeah, it's happening a little bit in Kyiv right now. Um, you're starting to see like the upper class buying up apartments for rent, and the rent prices are increasing in Kyiv. It's not dramatically bad, but it's pricing a lot of new people from moving into Kyiv. Yeah, you also have to take into the account of lag between stream and chat. Stupid fly, get out of here. Um, so yeah, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to go back and essentially have a bit of vacation, do some volunteer work, and um, actually, my cousin was on a tour of Europe last year and ended up getting married to a lady from Hungary. They are going to Budapest in October and having a wedding there for her side of the family. So in October, I might be heading to Budapest to go to my cousin's wedding. Be kind of cool. Uh, but yeah, it's anybody that says Russia's doing thrive economy is thriving doesn't know what they're talking about. 28% interest for mortgages at minimum. I've actually seen some reports where the interest rates are 35, 36%. Uh, well, she's came to America. That should tell you what she thinks of Orban now. But no, most Hungarian civilians support Ukraine. Orban's dictator, the light version, but yeah, um, it is what it is. Look at Magyar. You know, Magyar means Hungarian. You know, there's a lot of Hungarians fighting in the ZCU. No, I didn't see how much gold you're sending to China. Um, I know about how much Chinese yen you got stuck with, or won, or whatever it's called. um, yeah, if you guys don't know that story, for like until 2024, China was paying Russia in Chinese yuan for the oil. And when Russia tried to use the yuan to buy Chinese goods in exchange, China said, no, we don't want that. We want your gold. So it's very true. And it's so funny. Because like I show you guys stuff on Dimria all the time, but there's other things like um, this Telegram channel for real estate in Poltava, and um, I was looking at Poltava as one of the cities I'd like to move to at one point, and I don't know, I may still end up there when it goes through, but you won't see any of these on, well, you might see like a couple of these on Dimbria, but most of them you won't. This is just the local realtor putting out, you know, listings. Anyways, um, there you go. One Kimyata, one room, Dasha, 600 square meters for 11.5. Or this one for 7.8. There you go, 2,100. 18 Sotek, one Kimyata. Let's see down. Oh, 44 grand for that one. Ugh. 7,000 for that one. So I mean, and like none of these, you're not going to see any of these on Dimria. I shouldn't say any, but Kimyata 5 Celtic. Now 3,000 US dollars. This is their listing number for that realtor. So, oh, that one's kind of cute. 10 grand. The 9,100. But I would love to show you guys these, but like, you get one picture. Uh, 10.5. Well, that one's kind of nice. For 18, that one's 15. That looks kind of weird, but that's only 5. 17 for that place. Nice orchard going. Again, 5. Pretty big house right here on 540 square meter lot. 13,000. 2-story with a garage. It's not bad. 10,000 for that one. Ooh, that one's pricey. 45, overlooking the lake. Nice little Dasha here for 3,000. 8, 9. So you can't just look at one source. They don't have like an MLRS listing for all the things for sale over there. You have to go, realtor by realtor has their own listings and their own, clients. And there isn't much. Oh, that's nice. There isn't much crossover between the agencies over there. Oh, what's that? A 3 or 4-story? Dang. That's a tall house. Here we go. One Kimyata, one room Dasha, 1,800 square meters, 2,300. Some nice trees. Haji, operating a wheelbarrow is my learned behavior. Many Russians may starve before they learn a new way to shop. But I mean, that's um, and you see, there's hundreds of listings here. Um, oh, I'd have to translate this again. I'm not sure if that's what that means, but uh, just the land. You wanted to get just the land. Some nice plots where you could build a nice place, and um, it goes back quite a few years. But like I said, this is just one real estate agency in Poltava. There's like 4 different major real estate agencies in Poltava. Dang. You want a little castle house for 50,000? So I mean, there's so much stuff to go through. Um, and yeah, going around looking at the for sale signs on the property is probably the best way to go. Let me switch back over and head to Canty's Center. Oh, but before we do that, let me find Volna Ukraina. Uh, Air intercept of a Shaheed last night. They do have like modular houses that you can pick up for like 5 or 6 grand in Ukraine, and they'll just drop it on site, and there you go. So you find the right lot and put the modular house on it, and there you go. I love the helicopter videos. I Okay, that obviously holds a lot of people. Can I be one of them? That'd be so cool if I could get to ride in a Ukrainian helicopter.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded.
Everybody
Everybody
knows.
rolls with their
Fingers
fingers
crossed.
crossed.
Everybody knows. I love that song. Um, First heard it in the movie Pump Up the Volume.
Days have made me older since the last time that I saw your pretty face. 1,000 lies have made me colder, and I don't think I can look at this the same.
And gotta have the unit dog. I do love checking out this channel. Always uplifting videos there, it seems. Let's go to Canty's Center on Telegram and give you a preview of some of the stories to come as I scroll back to the beginning of the day with the report on the drones in the assault last night. Not a whole lot of videos, you see. Bibi's been burning the candle at both ends. You got to remember she's trying to do a remodel on her house, and she's also trying to mod for Greg Terry, Chungus, Nick, and I forgot the other channel. So yeah, she's just a little busy. Dog stops anyone from sneaking up on you. Yeah, I wish that. 450 air targets last night. Russia launched a massive attack on Ukraine overnight using 426 UAVs and 24 missiles. 5 Kinzhal ballistic missiles, 1 Iskander cruise missile, and 14 Kinzhal 101 cruise missiles. 403 of the 426 UAVs were destroyed. 23 UAVs were recorded hit in 3 locations. Debris from downed air targets also fell in an additional 12 locations. The vast majority of the missiles were shot down by air defense fire. The rest were suppressed by electronic warfare or lost in location. So awesome results from last night's air defense. Keep up the good work, and please, Trump, get off your ass and get those Patriots over to Ukraine, the missiles and the units themselves. And for all you map lovers out there, these are the vectors of the strikes over the drones over Ukraine. Kharkiv, Kyiv, major target, and Ivano-Frankish was another major target. The red lines are the Kinzhal 101s, the ballistic missiles, and I forgot what the other one was. Iskander. The blue is the Iskander. Thankfully, all the missiles were either destroyed or suppressed by electronic warfare. Unfortunately, not so much for the drones. And you see all the drones' paths in yellow. So multiple vectors for each city, really. Ivano-Frankish coming up from Odessa and Kherson Oblast. Kyiv, the targeting of Kyiv was done from Zaporizhia, Donetsk, Luhansk, Kursk, and Sumy area. All the Belgorod drones went to Kharkiv. But yeah, major attack last night. And unfortunately, Ukraine is feeling it today. This is the Kyiv metro station that was hit. And if I remember correctly, hold on, let me back this up. My friend, I think, was sitting at this bus station. He was sitting at one of the bus stations, and it was probably this one. This is the third time Russia has struck this metro station, by the way. A rare Russian mechanized attack on the positions of the 60th Brigade of the ZCU.
I want to play a game. If you don't listen to this track to the end, your ears will never be able to listen to music again. The game has begun.
So much for that vehicle. Oh, send another? Okay. Yeah, according to your people, Vlad, that kebab shop was making rations for the Ukrainian army. That's why you hit it. So much for those mechanized assaults from the Russians. In our next video, soldiers of the 30th Special Brigade show how effective fiber optic drones are. You're stacking them up like pancakes. You can run, you can't hide. I'm gonna find you. Yeah, this is one of the new tactics. Sit there, take them out, land them somewhere, wait for a target to show up in the view, the camera view, and off you go. That's very effective, as you can see from all those vehicles stacked up right there on that road. The moment of the strike on the railroad station in Rostov. Little grainy video, but worth the watch. Keep an eye right in this area. Well, in this case, it's a welcome to Rostov in Russia. Debris from that drone hit is definitely getting some hang time there. And this is this morning at 7 minutes into the today. Russia time, anyways. Bowling for Russians is all I can say. FPV drone versus 7 Russians. You like wings or thighs? Meanwhile, in Moscow region, Mother Nature's throwing its own fit at the Russians, and yes, those are the roofs of cars. I wouldn't say that's water, it's more of a mud slurry. So Donetsk is without water, and Moscow has too much. So if anybody does plan on visiting Russia, pack galoshes, rubber boots. Total destruction of Russian UAVs by Krila Omega, Omega Special Forces. And, you know, it's been a while since we've seen some drone on drone action. So here we go. You know, it's time for some brown chicken, brown cow.
Тримай дистанцію.
Yeah, that I'm with you right there, Adam Rounds. You know, just throwing those bags out the windows and then that. As a result of armed forces of Ukraine's work, the Russians on one section of the front were left without dugouts, without equipment, without weapons, without clothing, and without food. Here is the result of Ukrainian strikes on Russian positions.
Вот, даже дверь открылась сама. Хули. Вот так от бани. Где тут баня? Вот тут баня была. Нихуя не осталось. Ничего не осталось. Да по-любому.
Well, that rifle's not firing anything else.
Пишу под разведку, что тут. Короче, как-то так.
Блять, стулочка сзади сгорела, ёбаный рот. Остался металл, блядь.
See an old man. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Oh, the song? Okay. Okay. I've shown you guys a few articles about countries in the EU getting ready for war. Well, here's the next one. Less than 20 years ago, Germany decided that the risk of a military attack on its territory was so low that it decommissioned its last air raid shelters. Today, according to the Wall Street Journal, Germany is rushing to reverse that decision. Of the roughly 2,000 bunkers and air raid shelters that operated during the Cold War, only 58 remain. Those 58 can accommodate approximately 480,000 people, or 0.5% of Germany's population. And even that figure is largely theoretical. So you want to build bunkers and air raid shelters? Germany's looking for you. A lot of concrete and rebar work to do. Meanwhile, while doing that, Germany and the UK, will provide Ukraine with 220,000 35mm rounds of ammunition for Gepard air defense systems in a short time. The financing of the purchases will be allocated from the German budget. The UK, United Kingdom, should allocate an additional 40 million to arm Ukraine, according to the British Defense Minister. In total this year, Britain plans to provide Ukraine with 4.5 billion in military aid. This amount will include 700 million for artillery shells, long-range missiles, and defensive missiles. Of these funds, 150 million has already been allocated. The UK has supplied Ukraine with almost 50,000 drones this year so far. So, way to go, Germany and UK. Russian positions in Belgorod region. Our FPV drones are already there. Again, a view from Russia with love on the drones of the armed forces of Ukraine. No sound to this one, but I'll start doing the dun 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 bum 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 bum. Shark Week. um oh, they are hunting. Minus an S-300 in Belgorod as well. Here is that video. I could have been really mean and done the baby shark doo 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 doo. Um, if Matty R put out a notice today. Let's see. I didn't forward it to my channel, but I know Dennis has it. No, Matty R. All NATO national security doctrines require urgent revision. SBS Commander Robert Madiar Brovadi told the Western audience why NATO's outdated security doctrines will not withstand the Russian onslaught without changes. Drones are creating a new reality in war that NATO is not prepared for. Currently, no NATO country, not even the US, is capable of protecting its cities from shaheeds, which fly nonstop 7 days a week in quantities of 200 to 300. Therefore, new security doctrines are needed. Thanks to drones, a kill zone of about 20 kilometers long should be created along the front line. Further, infantry should be replaced by ground robotic complexes for logistics. That's the main point I wanted to note. The next step is to create a multi-layered, echeloned wall that will stop all strike and reconnaissance drones flying towards Ukraine. And this wall is already being built. Ukrainian warriors are writing a modern global doctrine for the use of unmanned systems. It should form the basis of NATO's national security doctrines. At the cost of the blood of Ukrainian soldiers, NATO has the opportunity to gain experience of a new war and prepare for it. If you live in a NATO country, you owe so many thanks to Ukrainian soldiers and the Ukrainian nation. But I wanted to emphasize this point right here. Infantry should be replaced by ground robotic complexes for logistics. That goes into this video right here. This is a ground drone delivering supplies, food, medicine, ammo, and construction materials to the front line. So you see planks of wood. There's boxes of food and medical supplies as well as ammo right to where the guys need it. I should say soldiers, not just guys, but so they offload everything they need and the drone continues on. Why does it keep going forward? Well, because it's going to the frontline position. And now a drone that just delivered supplies is now a rescue vehicle evacuating a wounded soldier. So the guys at the front line load them up, and the drone reverses out, heads back towards a safer area. Parks, here comes the ambulance. The ambulance grabs this wounded soldier, loads him up, and continues his journey through the medical process. This is the future of warfare right here. Drones, both in the sky and on the ground. I love Matty R too. He has the voice he has a beautiful voice. I love listening to his voice. I couldn't tell you half of what he's saying sometimes, but he has one of those voices that just resonate. But speaking truth with the drones, are ground drones needed for logistics, and right there's the proof of what they're doing in Ukraine and what they need to be doing for NATO countries in the future. Rolling back just a little bit, because if you don't think a war is coming, just ask Germany, ask Poland, ask Latvia. You know, how many stories have I shown you now where European countries are preparing for war? And AAR is sitting there telling us, and these videos showing us the future that we need to prepare for. The GUR in Toretsk and Pokrovsk directions, thanks to the use of ground drones, soldiers of GUR destroyed up to 100 invaders. Couriers carried out a series of explosive deliveries directly to the Russian positions. So here is video from the GUR. Well, that's all it takes to deliver 2 boxes of supplies, ammo, medical supplies, food, whatever. That's all it takes is that. Instead of having 4 guys carrying boxes, you have one little drone doing it. And then, oh, we have another job for you, Mr. Drone. Go take out that Russian command center. Ooh. Dual bazookas? Oh, what's this one got? Big bada boom. You know, if I remember correctly, the drone they're showing in these videos, I think it costs about $800. Most of that cost is the battery. What's a life worth? Uh, hey, Merc? Is Merc in chat and I'm just not seeing him, or what? Let me reload chat here really quick. Or were you saying merci a la French? But yeah, showing some more work that these inexpensive ground drones can easily take over for soldiers. I didn't. I made Merc blue for a reason. He must have relinquished the role, but yeah, it's not showing up in my chat for some reason. So sorry I missed you, Merc. Oh, it was Mercado Gaming that popped in. That's probably why I didn't notice it, because I didn't give Mercado Gaming a wrench to make him blue. I can't scroll back far enough to see it. Well, hi Merc. Sorry I missed you, but it happens. This is kind of interesting. A 23-kilometer long coal conveyor unexpectedly caught fire in Shakhylin, Russia. The fire started at night on over 200 meters of the structure. This conveyor connects the coal mine with the port in Shakhtarsk. This conveyor is considered the longest in Russia, and more than 7 billion rubles were allocated for its construction, and now it's 7 billion rubles. It was supposed to be put into operation this year, and whether it will meet the schedule after the recent incident is now in question. So, let me do a poll. And was the coal conveyor here a Ukrainian op or Russian covering up? No, tell me what you think. Is this a Ukrainian op or a Russian covering up him and stealing funds to build this? "23 kilometers long conveyor of coal, all burning down." Oh, I wish it was all of it, but only a section, unfortunately. Okay, what the heck? Are you guys just messing with me now, saying that BB's in chat? Because I don't see BB either. Yeah, very light rail. Flowing with the wind rail. In Ivano-Vukrovsky, Moscow region, Russian forces shot down a UAV that was peacefully flying towards Moscow. Now someone from Putin's electorate has lost their home. life outside of politics can be so painful.
Блядь,
Вот.
реально дрон.
Это дрон?
Да. Смотри.
That was where the drone was hit, and here's what it crashed into. This is one of the reasons why Ukraine tries to take down Shaheeds over fields, so it doesn't cause secondary damage like this when they shoot one down. And we come to the last video for tonight. Strike bombing with attack drones and destruction of the FPV point. Uncensored video. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Russian pilots thought they could continue launching their FPVs with impunity, but the bald head of the operator reflected in the sun too well. Hey, I resemble that remark. Spotted the pilot's point. Of course, you can watch the full video on YouTube. The video is from K2. So here is K2's for the last video of the night. Oh, that's a good point. Not Sherlock Holmes. Not so much theft as getting out of an unrealistic production schedule. The Borscht, yeah, I know the song you're talking about. It's a very cool song. Anyways, here is the video from K2. Well, let's start from the beginning. Jilky, I'd love to play that song, but I played it before and I got hit by YouTube on that video and got deleted, so.
Вони дуже хитрожопі. Вони не залишають міномет на відкритому місці.
Москвичка, да.
Намагаються його ховати. Якщо не побачите самого міномета, відпрацюйте бліндаж прямо.
And I got to give it to the drone operators. They are so accurate with those. With that said, let's do a quick check-in on the Summer Sunshine campaign. We got 2 donations in. We are up to 2,642 euros and 70 cents. So Adam Rounds covered those ones. So Adam Rounds today with 10 euros, and Slava Ukraina, free all Ukrainian defenders, return all Ukrainian children, from Anonymous. But we all know that's a Haji right there. Thank you, Haji. Thank you, Adam Rounds. I appreciate your support so much in getting this truck for the 5th Border Guards so they can help take out even more of those Shaheeds and drones that Russia is launching against Ukraine. With that, I say I bid you adieu and ask that please remember to hit the like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, but most importantly, keep supporting Ukraine. Oh, and I should cover and the poll and 50-50. I'll have to find out. I guess we'll find out later, hopefully, if it's a Ukrainian op that destroyed it or Russia hiding their theft or Russia hiding their insane construction promises. Oh, turn off the moose. Sorry, I had the moose going for a while. I love my moose. Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody. And I will see you next time. On see you to the moon. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. See you next time. Oh, and hey there, David. Good to see you, even though at the end. Good night.